Hi guys, welcome to Photo with Trudy. You're at the right place. Don't worry, Trudy is probably safe. We think. So it's a full house. We have Skip, we have Dami, we have Kachi, we have Aminu, and we're all here for more support for Dami, who is going through a very difficult time with life right now with the sudden departure of Klopp. But we hope it's nothing serious personally, and it's just he needs a break from work because he definitely puts a lot of energy into his craft. So we'll start with Dami. How do you feel about this news of Klopp leaving?
Send flowers, send money. I'm heartbroken. Uh, nah, I wasn't ready at all. That was not the news I was expecting to wake up to. Pretty, pretty terrible to hear. And then it hurts more because I was hoping to go to Anfield this season or next season to go and watch, a club game, and I missed that chance. So that hurts. And thinking about who's going to come to replace him, that even hurts more because I don't know how many years it's going to take us to find someone that'll get us back to this level. But yeah, that's for the future. Hopefully it inspires the boys to finish the season strong. I think that's the only positive outlook out of this. And yeah, the man came and changed our history. Did a lot for the team. I waited, what was it, like 20 22 years to see Liverpool win Premier League title. Went through years of misery with Man United and Arsenal fans. So yeah, shout out to him. Kudos. I've never said this about a manager before, but yeah, I'll definitely miss him. He's been a good one.
Okay. Well, we do feel for you. Send your answer. We'll send you money. Uh, Aminu, do you have any thoughts on this news? Or
I do have a few thoughts. I mean, obviously, Liverpool fans are going through a tough time right now. I do think that, and now that Klopp is leaving, I can freely say that, I think he was probably the best manager in the league. Um, obviously people will say Pep. I don't have a problem with that pick as well. But in terms of their style of play, I enjoy watching Liverpool a lot more than watching Man City anyways. And and yeah, I think that's going to be a loss for the Premier League in general to be losing, the best, one of the best, if not the best manager in the league. Obviously, Man U went through that, I think about 12 years ago now, and it has been a difficult process, ever since Fergie retired. Obviously, we don't Klopp isn't exactly retiring, but we don't know what's going on. Um, but hopefully Liverpool go through the same pain that Manu has gone through for the next 20 years. Let them just let them just be in the mud more than us. I know there are a few candidates out there that they are throwing around for the Liverpool job. Xavi Alonso obviously is probably one of the main candidates. My advice to him would be to not take the job. You don't want to be the guy that follows Klopp. And he's just building his resume. If his resume takes a major hit, that could easily be it for him. So I'd say let De Zerbi or one of these other guys go take the post Klopp era hits, and then he can try his hand. But hopefully, regardless of who they bring in, they'll be unsuccessful.
okay, that's that wasn't where I thought you were taking it, but sure, sure, why not?
The hate is
Sure,
real.
why not? I'm glad you safe space, safe space. It's okay. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing the video. So Skip, what are your thoughts on possible replacements and where you see Liverpool going from here?
Ah, that's okay. So this is always the problem when a manager is like the face and the director of a team. When he leaves, you are not only replacing a manager, you are also replacing like an image. You're also replacing like directors. You're also replacing like the scouting department or the way they analyze football. Like, and that is the problem that Liverpool are going to come into, because they are not going to just be looking for a coach. They are going to look into someone that can work with the scouting department, be like, oh, these are the type of player we're trying to get. These are the basics. These are the things you look out for. Then it will take them at least 2 years to get that right. Because on that club, it even took them like 2 years to get that right. Then when you are looking at the face, a manager will have to like go to Anfield and gyrate and like encourage the fans the way they are used to clubbing. Is not doing that, then it's just going to fail because the fans and outfit won't back in. That's another thing. Then let's talk about the football, the tactics and all of that. You need to entertain and also win the way club is doing, and is going to like at the end of the day we're going to use big. You're going to have to do that. So anybody that is coming in should know what he's stepping into. Because I'll use Potter as an example. Like a manager like Potter came in, he thought he was still working for Brighton and he's just going to start on the timelines, like nothing. So if you don't win the crowd over in the first place, like you have lost the job before you even begin. So they are not replacing only the manager, and Liverpool are going to struggle. Do I think there's another unicorn out there for them to find that? Like, then I'm looking at the list of people available right now. Like, not really. Not really. So it's going to be a tough time for them. And all they can just do is listen to Klopp. And the closest manager to Klopp, that's what they should be bringing. They shouldn't try and do like a revolution or whatever it is. They shouldn't try that. So yeah, but I believe they will struggle for a year or two. But there's another part of me that is looking at most of their important players. They are in their prime. So it should be easy for players that are in their prime to actually look like, okay, if
with
you
a
look at
sensible
Uh,
their
um,
coach.
prime, no, not prime, but like they are in the stage where they're like they are not kids anymore. They are people that you don't have to like. You just need to tell them practice and how you want to play, and they will easily get it. They are not kids anymore. They are not this thing
Mm-hmm.
because if you look at like
Mm-hmm.
their front three or front four, even their second, these are not kids anymore. Any manager should be able to come in and tell them how to play, and they should be able to handle themselves. Like it's okay. Like another example, Rashford. You can look at Rashford has been playing in Premier League for 5 years, but he's not matured enough. But if you look at all these other players Liverpool are, like how many times have you heard report of Van Dijk going out and doing something crazy? Even Trent, if you look at all those players, like a manager, it just will be easier. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, if a reasonable code just comes in, he should be able to get something out of like the players available. So that's that.
Interesting. So Kachi, what do you feel would be the effect on the players, especially with the timing? So for me, I thought the timing was kind of weird. Like you shouldn't be announcing that like in January. It's like, oh yeah, guys, I'm out in June. So how do you feel about that? What do you think the effect will be on Liverpool players, especially given that their style of play requires a lot of buy-in in terms of running around and giving up yourself?
I think for me, I think so far it hasn't shown that it will have that much impact.
Mhm.
I think for me, with regards to Klopp leaving, the announcement and the timing, I think the timing was a little bit off. It would have been nice if he had maybe like in the beginning of the season saying, "Hey, this is my last season," and then we go from there. But I
Mhm.
think I think the team is kind of in a weird place where like half the players were the ones that were with him from the beginning, like his main signings, and then the other half are the ones that he's brought in. It's almost like the team is going through a transition where half of the team are the original core that won the league, and then the other half are like young players and the ones they made recent signings with. So I think for me, he shouldn't have an issue in galvanizing the team. But I think where they will suffer is wherever Salah goes, the team goes. If Salah injury lingers, this team will struggle in terms of goals, right? Especially with Darwin Nunes. You cannot hang your hat on Darwin Nunes in games where maybe you may not create as many chances and you need one or two. Like you need to be clinical. Yeah, I don't see him being that way. But I think for Klopp, you have to give him his accolades, right? The guy has won 6 trophies He's pretty much won everything. I mean, the downsides are the two losses to Madrid and Gareth Bale in Champions League, and I think also losing. I think his first season he lost Europa League final. I can't remember who he lost to. I can't remember who he
That
lost.
can fill in the blanks. Who did
Normal
he lose to?
Sevilla now.
Oh yeah, Sevilla,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, does that count? I don't think that
Normal
counts as a loss. You
Sevilla.
just got
Yeah, yeah. So
whatever.
he lost that one, and then, but I think he still ended up bringing Liverpool their league, right? That was the objective, really, is getting them that league title, which they've been
Mm.
craving for so long. So I think for me, they are definitely going to miss him. But I think for me, they will make a mistake if they are trying to replace him. They need to find a successor, not a replacement. Because I don't think there's anybody out there actually like Klopp. I really don't. I really don't. The guy's resume, the guy comes from Mainz and then he goes to Borussia Dortmund and then he goes to um, Liverpool. I don't think you can. I think you can try and replace him in terms of the style of play. You need to get a manager that's that style of football, right? Or if you want to go for a revolution and say, okay, let's give it to somebody young, you give it to Xabi Alonso and you give him time. But I think Xabi Alonso runs the risk of, first of all, he's kind of in a weird place where he's still in the lead with Bayern Leverkusen. He wants to obviously win the Bundesliga because that will help him pad his resume. But also, he does not want to come out and say, oh, yeah, I'm taking the Liverpool job, and then you now lose the Bundesliga. It's like, okay, you will now be left empty-handed. And then you now come to Liverpool and flop. Maybe the next job will now be like at Roma. Instead of you going higher, your resume will be going down. So I think it's such a weird spot now that, okay, now it's out there that Klopp is leaving. They need to
Stray
be...
bullets.
So they need to be
Sorry,
discreet. As like, okay, you're going for a manager that already has a job. How are you going to be discreet about it? Ancelotti staying at Madrid. I don't see Ancelotti leaving Madrid end of this season. He still has one more year. So it's like he's most likely going to
No,
be...
he just signed a new contract now.
He signed a new contract, a 1-year extension.
No, he
Is
has
it 1 year?
extended part.
Yeah.
Was it just 1 year? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he extended for 1 year. He told Brazil he's not doing again.
I don't know if it was 1 year, but
I thought it was a
I know he
long-term
signed an
extension.
extension.
But that's the thing. The thing is, I don't know any other manager because Xabi Alonso doesn't play the way Klopp plays. I actually don't know a few managers that play. And then another thing that is, I think for me, Klopp's I think the best thing about him is not only the style of play, but it's the fact that this guy was able to find rare gems in this transfer market and this social media age where every good player like Chelsea, Man U, Man City are going for the player. My guy was going to sign Salah when everybody was like, bro, why are you signing Salah? Salah that is washed up, right? You are going to sign... Okay, Mane was already kind of proven in the league, but the guy was signing basically players that people were not going for, like Andy Robertson for like how much? 4 million, which is like chicken change, right? So like the guy managed to, like, in terms of FSG, Klopp was the dream of the FSG, those FSG American guys, because this guy was finding rare gems out of nowhere. Now the new manager that they bring in will probably be like, bro, I need 250 million to improve the squad. Like, I'm not gonna settle for I need 250 million to improve this squad. And then they run into the situation where it's like, okay, would they be able to, maybe they can pay a player's transfer fee, but you won't be able to pay them the wages. Liverpool's problem has always been in matching other teams' wages. Man U, Chelsea, you have no problem. 80 mil will drop the money, 100 mil will drop the money, but will also match the wages. Chelsea, Liverpool's only, they will give you 8-year contract and be breaking the thing down small. I think Mane knows all about that, but I think it's sad to see him leave the league in the sense that, in terms of excitement, I think he's second to none. In terms of exciting football, no other team played more exciting football than Klopp, I would say. Yeah, it will be interesting to see, especially those guys that are coming to the end of their contracts. Maybe one other team can just maybe pick them up to do a job for like 1 or 2 years as well.
I think we can agree that.
The form is unrepeatable.
Don't worry, you see Chelsea coming for one of your stars.
Like who? Like who?
They can come and pick somebody for 1 or 2 years to do a job. Don't worry. Chelsea shot them. Don't worry. They'll say, is it to do a job? They will pick somebody to do a job or do like a swap deal. American owners, they don't even have to meet in England. They will meet in US, make the decision.
Chelsea can offer Champions League football.
But they can pay the wages. FSG is trying to sell.
Don't worry, next season you won't be there too. So when Klopp is gone, so you won't be there. So
Oh, boys already throwing banter for next season. Damn.
So yeah, it looks like we've lost some people.
It's
We'll
okay.
get them back
Watch.
soon. Yeah. So I think we can all agree
Hey.
that one group of people who will also be excited to see Klopp live at the refs, they will no longer have to take impromptu showers on the pitch from his random spitting. But yeah. So for me, I think that I'm kind of indifferent about him living. Like, I never really liked him. That's probably because of all of the trauma. That's because of all of the trauma that his Liverpool team has put Arsenal through. But I mean, you can't deny that he was able to, you know, get Liverpool back to like the top of English football. Whether that means they
What happened
can't
now?
be great, I don't think that's true because, like I always told you, there are plenty of managers out there. It's just a matter of finding one and giving them the tools that they need to succeed. And especially since like Klopp's style of play was essentially long ball, attack second ball, and press, 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 press. Well, who knows? Like, I don't think it should be that hard to. It's harder to replace Klopp from a personality standpoint because the man Klopp was very very good with people, and he really bought into the whole Liverpool then, and he wanted to really connect with the city, so that made them a very annoying team to play against. Because the second you annoy Klopp, everybody, you have like 60,000 people shouting at you just because they are going against their guy. I never really saw Liverpool do that with any of the other managers. So if they were to get someone who was like Xabi Alonso, just forget about it, man. Like, nobody's winning anything in that stadium because he's their guy. Even they got someone like Zerbi, like someone who just knows how to get into their city and get buying. Like, think like even a Potter would do reasonably well. Like, they won't win the league or anything under Potter, but they'll still be a team that you wouldn't want to play against. I think their real problem is that Salah is going to leave this summer, and you already have Van Dijk saying that he doesn't know if he's going to be able to stay. So part of me thinks they're going to get distracted. Like, if they get to like end of February, beginning of March, and games are getting too hard to win, will players just start saving themselves for their new contract at a new team because they know like, at least Klopp is not here anymore? And that's why I think the whole announcement was kind of weird. But like, at that level of football, any amount of doubt is enough to throw your team to the side. But yeah, that's kind of my thought on Klopp living. So Trudy gave me notes. I had planned to throw them away because closing up by hosting a podcast, but I decided I might as well look at some of them. So I guess the next question I have is, where do you guys rate him in terms of like all time Premier League managers? Like, I know Aminu's already talking about him being the best manager in the league. I'm not sure I agree with that, but like in terms of what he actually achieved in the Premier League, like let's try to forget about the whole Champions League and Europa League thing for 1 second. But like in the Premier League, this is still a manager that won one league title. He might as well be Leicester's manager for crying out loud. Like, because that guy also won one Premier League with the worst team in the most unlikely season ever, and won the FA Cup and still found a way to win like the EFL Cup. And we don't consider Carlo Ranieri to be one of the best managers in the league. So why does Klopp get
because
that
Klopp
shout?
because
Although
Klopp
you're
stopped
free to
City
rank him wherever you want to rank him, sure, but I just say my own
because
thoughts.
because
Uh,
Klopp
I
stopped
mean,
City from winning 5 titles in a row.
Yeah, I understand that he only won one title, but he also lost, I think, two titles by 1 point, if I'm not mistaken. I know when the Centurions, for sure, he had 99 points that season, but I think another season He
He
also
lost two
lost.
titles
He
by
lost
one
two by
point.
1 point. Yeah. So if
Yeah.
we're talking about losing, you know, two titles by 1 point to a team that has 115 charges against them for financial doping, and I don't know what
Hey,
to say. And
I, I look. Normally, I'm with you on that, but as you guys always say when I start going on about them charges, like you have to win. It doesn't matter.
no, no, but I'm talking about in terms of his ranking, right?
Yeah.
In terms of his achievement, I think that the one title in, is it 6 years, doesn't really reflect how the team has performed in the 6 years he has been there. If Pep wasn't around, he would have easily won, all these titles. Obviously, he lost them by 1 point, so he would have had at least three titles. And
Yeah, but I
and
believe he was there for 8 years, though not six.
is it eight or
Eight.
seven?
8 years.
This is his 8th year since 2015.
Oh, okay. I mean, the first 2 years were a wash, so 6 years really.
He was
Um,
still spending to get his team, so you can't really say like he's probably the biggest spender in the league since he joined. I didn't check that, but just going off head
the,
for some of
the
the players he signed.
You mean in the last 8 years, he's the biggest spender?
Yeah.
There's no way he has spent more than Pep and even just thought that started last summer. Like those,
Wait,
those
I'm not talking about third
yeah.
is an anomaly, but like bad Chelsea, like he's spent his way to those titles, and he still had like 3 seasons where basically all his players that played 38 games in a season. Like if you can't achieve at that point, like what exactly are we waiting? Is still my question.
Which managers won titles while Klopp was manager? So Pep, was there another manager that won?
I think Chelsea won the league once,
Chelsea.
maybe.
Oh, with what's his name? The
Conte.
Italian guy,
Conte.
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 Yeah,
Chelsea Conte won. Okay, that would be like Klopp's
that would have
probably
been
Klopp's
early,
second
early.
second season or so, because there's no way Klopp would lose to Conte. So I think all time rankings is it's hard for me to pick an all time ranking right now. I do know that I do rate him very highly, and I do believe as well that if he had the same amount of free reign and money as Pep, he would have probably won more titles than Pep. And that's my own opinion. So I definitely rank him as one of the greatest in the Premier League for sure. I think we go Fergie, Mourinho, Wenger, like those are the some of the best managers I've ever been in the Premier League, and then Pep and Klopp. I'll actually put Klopp over Pep in terms of managerial ability, especially when you also take into consideration. I know this is outside of the Premier League, but what he also did in Germany, winning back-to-back titles with Dortmund against a juggernaut Bayern team before they started taking all their players again. Um, so yeah, I'll say he's definitely a top five manager for me. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, I can give you top five. Skip.
Okay, so I'm in between two minds when it comes to Klopp. There's a part of me that is looking at him and being like, okay, you won one of everything in 8 years, which is good. Nobody's saying that's bad or that's poor or something like that. That's good. But that's not good enough to be called great like the Fergusons, the Wenger, the Mourinho. That's not good enough to be put in those people's category. Like if we're looking at the Premier League history, then there's another side of me that is looking at it from like pound to pound, like pound for pound, like the amount of money and the resources available. He has probably been the best manager in 6 years with what he was able to like achieve. Uh, but at the same time, I'm looking at it in the sense of like if that was the Chelsea or the United at that time against the City, there's no way City is winning a treble. When if United or Chelsea and or Arsenal of that time, there's no way City and winning treble. Like if those managers will sacrifice one of their levers or they're mad for something for that not to happen, like it will not happen. I don't care how good City are. Like there's
Yeah,
something called pride.
but
No, no, no,
that
no.
rivalry was different. Then Klopp is not
No, I'm
embroiled in
just
that.
saying, but that's where we're putting his name. We're
Fair.
putting his name among those three, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it was good, it was great, but like putting him among those other managers, I think is a disservice to those other managers. Because how can basically you be challenging someone? Imagine when Chelsea was even like playing Wonder Marino, Ferguson was never going to allow that happen. It was never going to allow that happen because that's a big slap in your face. So like I'm in between two minds in that sense that like it was great, it was good. It shouldn't be put among the greatest because Ranieri too. If you look at Ranieri actually achieved pretty like in his career. If you look at what he has achieved, let's look at the Premier League and all of that. He did a better job compared to what's his name again, Klopp, when it comes to winning the league. Leicester had no chance. So like I'm looking at it, and the conclusion I'm just going to come up is that it was good. You might even say great, but it's not among the greatest. So let's just put respect on the name of the greatest when we talk about them, because there's no way all those managers I talked about will have like it's going to be impossible. If they have to sell the whole Premier League for it not to happen, they would do that. If they have to bribe all
Please.
the referees, it was never going to happen.
With
And I
what money
believe
though?
Liverpool should have stopped them. So whatever reason you might be like, oh, this reason, that reason, no, 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 no. You get it done. That's what the greats do. So yeah.
Man, I know Aminu is saying we bought money, but like if you look at the players and the amount of money that he spent on these players, I don't think you can use. See, there was this version of club that found hidden gems, and there is the version of club that we have today that spends money on players. So you can't say with what money, because at the end of the day, you can't be shouting you have the best keeper, the best centre back, you have the best winger striker in the league, you have the best midfielders in the league. I mean, nobody thinks they have the best midfielders in the league, but like you have the best, most generational English player we've ever seen in right back. At some point, adding hundreds of millions of talent on top of that should get you closer to City. And like I don't like the relationship he has with Pep. It's very Malga type of like just go and beat him. All this party, high five and secret handshakes. I don't get it. Like now that one saying you cannot sleep now. I go and sleep better. It's just unnecessary. Anyways, so I guess we're kind of coming to the end of this podcast. So one of my final questions is like, Damn, where do you see Liverpool next season? In your mind right now, looking at Liverpool, where do you think you get to go next season?
Lisai. Uh,
In the mud. That's the answer.
Goddamn. Nah,
So much hate.
with the guys still around, if Salah goes this summer, I like to see us put that money to good use, and I think we can still be in the top five contention next season. I don't think it's going to just be a disastrous turn like that. We definitely won't be operating at the same efficiency no more, probably, but I think the team is still competitive. As long as, man, Lord help us find the competent coach. I really don't know
Yeah.
who it could be, but if I hear Steve Bruce or Sam Allardyce, I'll slap somebody.
But damn it, I don't. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but don't you guys need a competent director of football or CEO of football or whatever first?
I don't think that guy is changing.
Yeah, is
No, I heard
Michael
that he's
Edwards?
leaving. No, not Michael Edwards. Like the current guy that was on temporary basis, like with Klopp. You know the guy like that was your let's just say director of football, but I don't think it's director or the head scouts that was working with.
Pep, Pep,
He was
Pep, Pep,
German also.
Pep Linders. That Pep
No,
Linders
that's
guy.
I
just
don't know his
no. I
name,
think
but
Okay.
it's the head of recruitment that you're talking about. But
yeah,
that guy has a boss, and the boss is staying. It's the one with the
okay.
weird hairline I was talking
So
about.
it's
That
him that is going to be dictating who the next coach is, right?
yeah, he's already put in all
Okay,
his
all right.
FM ratings to join the
Mm.
next.
Mm.
The FM scouting works every time. Yeah, I yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Kachi, do you have any thoughts on
It's gonna
Liverpool's future?
I always say I'm always very skeptical when a manager and his director of football are changing or people at the top are changing at the same time. It's never a good recipe. I mean, you can always see the blueprint in Man U. David Gill left Man U, I think, few months before Fergie left, and then this new American owners thought it was genius to not appoint a director of football and just appoint a manager and be signing anyhow. So for me, the future doesn't look good. Um, I would have said maybe if this new Man U's is it director of football that they got, if he had been going to Liverpool, I would have said, they're in safe hands. At least they have somebody that has a resume that he has done it somewhere else. So, but this new person that they are hiring, it is well low. His resume doesn't bring or strike enough confidence in me that to say that yeah, Liverpool will be in safe hands. And the thing is, it's so easy to go from 1 year to 2 years to 3 years to 10 years. Mind you, what are we now? Fergie retired 2013. This will be the 10th year or the 11th year of us waiting for the league. 11 can easily go to 20. 20 can easily go to 30. Right. So it is well. But we know giving us is that Pep is not going to be in Man City.
Where is the optimism?
That's the only thing that we know. But yeah, yeah, the future doesn't look good. I think next season I see them maybe top 8. They are struggling for maybe Europa League. They will probably be around
No,
Aston Villa's level. Believe me.
no, come on, let's
Relegation
be
battle.
serious.
Why?
Wait, is Salah still there?
When does Salah's contract run out?
Think next summer.
Next
Next
summer.
summer, I think they're going to cash in this summer. After this summer, just cash in. Find one Saudi Arabia Qatar guy, come and pick him up and collect the money and do something with it. Because we know
Yeah,
Liverpool
it's down to flipping the money into something good.
exactly flip the money right now, quick. Because you don't want to risk going into the last season and then Salah's injury now becomes more pronounced. Because it's looking like my
But,
guy is getting
but
Salah
old.
here's
is
the thing:
okay.
100
Salah
million
is
is
not
not doing
injured.
100 million is not doing anything for you. First of all, in this market, nobody's paying more than
No,
100 million. 100 million is not doing anything for Liverpool to
100 million
replace
is
Salah.
actually free
that's
now.
not true. If
Say
they
first
put,
of all,
if they took
first of
100 million and drop 50 on Neto, drop 50 on Nico Williams, they've replaced Salah already.
wait,
Yeah, you
first of
need
all, you
3 years.
think Wolves are going to accept 50 for Neto when
Injury
they
prone
know?
Neto that can't play 7 games in a season. You take
Yeah,
it
you
and
think they will
run.
accept 50 for him when they know they have 100 million in FFP season?
100 million where?
Wait,
Who's going to
wait,
drop
no. If
100
they get,
million for
let's.
an
I'm
injury
just
prone
saying, let's
player?
say whatever amount they get for Salah. First of all, Arsenal are putting the Balogun youths for market for 50 million. You think Wolves are going to look at like, oh, our best player or wherever your striker
Balogun
is
youths.
in what's his name in Katia, right? Your second striker.
Oh, yeah, but then Nketiah scores more goals. This is not an Arsenal conversation, but like Nketiah scores more goals than the next second choice striker
Yeah,
you have to call
but
up
you are not getting the point. That is their best player. So
that
50
plays 7
million
games a
doesn't.
season. He's not
Eh,
their best player at that point.
but here's the
They're
thing.
not begging you to buy him now.
They are not begging you. Like they are not begging you. Everybody that knows they have that money, they are going to increase it, and that's their best player. Like for Wolves now, 50 million is not doing anything for them to replace Neto. It's not doing for anything for them because the next team are going to ask for 30 million or 35 for one dead horse before they go buy another. Like so, this is the market we're in right now. So it's just
Wonder
going to
who
be
made
hard,
it
and
like
they have
that.
to move smart.
I heard one blue team was buying players without sense the other year like that. So maybe that's what we'll be at. But yeah, okay. Let's wrap this up. So thank you
I,
guys
I
for.
just
Oh, okay,
I
yeah. I
just
mean,
want to make a prediction. So we all know Salah is leaving to Saudi in the summer.
mhm.
I'm going to predict that Liverpool will hire Xavi. So sorry, did I
Yahoo.
say yeah, Alonso now? Yeah, Jabi
Oh,
Alonso.
okay.
I know. Even me, after I said it, I
I
was
thought you
like,
said
yeah,
Javi.
yeah. Even me, I was like, Xavi. Though Liverpool hire Alonso, and they'll finish around 7 or 8. He'll get fired, and that'll be it for his career.
Wow.
And that is how the cycle is going to start.
You
They are
dream,
going
man.
to run run through managers because once they hire Alonso, he's not going to have the pool to get any serious player. Yeah, maybe they can get Neto for 70 million with the Salah money, but they won't be able to get any player.
We'll
And
carry
then
Frimpong or Grimaldo come.
yeah, not so. And that's it. Maybe we'll bring what's his name with him
Florian
now.
Wirtz.
Boniface.
No, Jaka.
The
We'll
Wirtz.
Wits,
bring
the Wits
Jaka back to
guy.
the Premier
Wirtz.
League.
Which dirty Jacka?
Mm.
We'll go chase him
Well,
back.
Jaka is statistically is one of the best center mids this
We
in
go
the
chase
world.
him back. Good for him.
Just like Jaka.
But
No,
we are going to be here while
I think they're
waiting.
going to end up with Giuseppe, and we'll sign Mitoma to
Like
try and replace.
these names they won't sound exciting. Like this is
No,
the
Deserbi
It's
is
not
actually a
supposed.
good shout.
this is the
Deserbi
It's
is
not
a
pressing
good
supposed to
shout for
sound
you guys.
exciting. If you look at your players that you signed, and you look at Brighton, and you will see that you low key been heading towards him in
man's
terms of players.
man's getting compared to Brighton now.
It's going to be
No, I'm talking
Potter
about the type of
2.0.
players,
Just
that
watch.
are signing. No, Deserbi is better than Potter. Let's be serious.
Okay, well,
Um,
we'll see.
but yeah, well, thank you guys for making time out of your day and for your thoughts
RIP
on the
to
Liverpool situation.
RIP to Liverpool's future.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers with Dami at this very difficult time. Please leave a comment of support in the chat so he knows that you're thinking about him. Thank you very much for joining us on another episode of Footy without Trudy, and we hope we'll see you next time. All right, bye, guys.